everybody. Today we're doing a pretty cool review. A very how am I gonna say it? Heartfelt? Yeah, heartfelt review. Very cool heartfelt review. We are going to the review of my very first mechanical piece, my Orient. Well, it's not really mine anymore, it's my brother's. My Orient Black Mako. Ah, it's beautiful. Love it. Look at that. Man, I kind of miss it. Yeah, I wonder, it doesn't actually, when I look at it from up here, like from my perspective, it looks big for my wrist, but when I look at it in the camera, well, it looks alright. It's a 40.5 millimeter watch, which is something that I'm very surprised I was rocking for a very long time. Man, some things about this watch in particular. The date adjuster, it's a little bit tough to spin out. I had to get some pliers to actually turn that. The bezel, watch out. Sounds very bad. It's because I very foolishly wore this in the shower with soap. Man. But let's get on with the review. To kick it off, this watch, this fully automatic mechanical in-house Orient movement, I got it for around $100. I know it's this is the older Orient, and I know the new ones have this taken off, which I think is cool, but in my opinion it makes it look, I guess it looks a bit more refined, but I also think it looks more like a Submariner copycat. And when you look at this watch, you do see the design elements from the pre-ceramic Rolexes, the pre-ceramic Rolex Submariners. That being said, this watch is not a copy. It is 100% not a copy. It's its own thing. We can start, for example, with the dial. Very surprisingly, it has a very smart dial for a diver. It makes a great everyday piece if you're going to the work, you're hanging out with your friends, you're going to a meeting, you're going to maybe a wedding. Maybe you should wear a dress watch for a wedding. But this guy is dressy. As you can see here, the straight lines on it and the very rare, odd numeral on the dial. What is the word for that? Not exactly for sure, but the little dashes right here that tell you the hour markers. There we go. They make it look real dressy. And if you're just gonna buy one watch and just keep with it, this is a great go-to. Man, I gave it to my brother because ultimately I felt that it was just a bit too big for me. And he's having a good time with it. In some of the close-ups, you can see that it's just, this guy's just beaten up to death, man. It's been on so many different adventures from me. I had it for about a year, and then I gave it to my brother, and he's had it for about 6 months. So this is what a watch will look like after a year and a half of straight continuous use. Through camping, through hanging out with your friends. Mind you, a 16, 17-year-old teenager hanging out with his friends. All the adventures that it comes with. The endurance and durability of this watch to handle all that is quite impressive. It's bringing back a lot of nostalgia looking at this. I've been through some tough times with this piece and some very happy times. For example, let me think back. My very first day of college, I wore this watch. I ordered it and it came one day before I had class. Even though Amazon was telling me it was gonna come 3 days after I started. So I walk into the classroom, I'm wearing my very first mechanical timepiece, I'm feeling good, I'm getting started on my schoolwork. Yeah, help me through some real tough moments. And I will never forget that, my little Orient Mako. Yeah. It's a real cool piece. Orient really does a lot with their watches. Seiko's good too, but Seiko really doesn't, Seiko's like, okay, we're gonna make a good watch. Orient's like, okay, we're gonna make a good watch, definitely. But how are we gonna add some little tips and flavors and things to just make the watch a bit more personal, a bit more spazazzy, a bit more suave. For example, the signed date wheel, the crest on the logo, the day of the week pusher, even the unique dial. Those are all things that really just make this watch a very unique diver. And that's why it is definitely not a clone or a copycat of the pre-ceramic Submariner. The case definitely has some aspects of it. Definitely. But it's its own piece. If you're, I would say on the small, if you're just an average sized guy, or even a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, rock one of these guys. You can't go wrong. A bit of a unique piece, a bit of a unlikely surprise. Man, the Orient Mako. Thanks for watching the video. It's a short one. But anyways, hasta luego.